What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Benny on the Beat on the FuzzFam channel. We're on episode 29, and it is good to see all of your faces. What a cheesy introduction. Oh, what's that? What am I wearing? You know what? This was a little gift from one of you from chapter 17, actually. Since obviously I don't wear my actual police uniform when I make videos, he thought it'd be a great idea to give me a police uniform that I can wear. So I really appreciate this. I mean, check this thing out. Oh my gosh, that looks so weird. Hold on. Look at the back. Look at the back. Oh, what am I packing? A water gun. Does this thing make me look fat? You know what? It is a little bit snug.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
I don't know. You guys let me know. Should this be the official uniform of the Benny on the Beat episodes from now on? Assuming that I keep doing a video every week. Really surprised we've gone this long. I know you guys didn't think we would, but we're staying with it. All right, we're going to switch the order up a little bit this week. We're going to start with a update on my police car. A lot of you guys were very concerned last week. Apparently there was like some conspiracy and people didn't believe that the car was okay. I don't know why. So here's a picture of the car this week. As you can see, everything is tickety-boo. All right, how about weather report for this week?
Rain.
Fantastico.
Okay.
Speaking of Fantastico, I hope you guys really enjoyed the last video we just put out with me in the kitchen for the first time attempting to cook something, and it was... what's the word?
Apocalyptic.
It was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it up here in the upper whatever. Check it out. It was a good time. Okie doke. Let's look at some comments from last week. The World. I was scrolling on YouTube and I came across your video. So doing the right thing, I thought to myself, what's better than to watch a fat cop crash his car and talk about calls? No, but it's actually a good question. What is better than that? I don't know what else I'd rather watch. It's the chins, isn't it? It's the chins. It confuses everybody. It gives that impression that I'm slightly overweight.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Joshua Tom De Pluis. Why do people have to have names that I can't pronounce? Hi there, Mr. Fuzz. So my question is if you ever stopped or arrested a subscriber of yours. No, I haven't stopped, like on a police stop, I have not stopped any subscribers or pulled anybody over. Definitely haven't arrested any subscribers, at least that I know of. Aaron Cooper, yes, now there is a name I can pronounce. More of you need names like Aaron Cooper. Here recently, there have been a lot of police and civilian cars pulling people over. My question is, what's the safest way to ensure that the person is legally a police officer? Fair question, Aaron. There are police impersonators out there. I don't think there's a ton of them. It's pretty rare that you're gonna run into that, but it has happened. It can happen, and it could happen again. I would say generally you're fine if you see red and blue lights pulling you over to just pull over. In a safe place, I wouldn't turn down a road on a side road in the woods and go around the corner where nobody can see anything, but I would err on the side that it actually is a police officer since there are unmarked cop cars out there and they can legally pull you over, at least in the state that I'm in. I don't know if other states have different rules. Keep your doors and windows locked. Roll your window down to talk to them, and if things really get weird when they come up to chat with you and you're even more concerned they're not a police officer, just call 911. Tyson Price. Oh boy, that's a novel. All right, I'm gonna sum this one up. Okay, so in essence, Tyson's asking if you get a ticket or you get arrested and you have to come to court but you don't have money to pay a fine, what should you do?
Run.
If you get a ticket but you're worried about how you're gonna take care of it, go to court or communicate with them and let them know that. Some courts will work with you. Some can set up payment plans or deferment options or community service instead of a fine or whatever. They have a lot of things they can do, but don't just not go in. That's never a good idea because obviously you get a warrant issued for your arrest, which you'll eventually get arrested for and probably have to pay a warrant fee or additional fines on top of. Angel Garcia, dear Mr. Police Ossifer. Yes, I like it. I like the spelling, I like it. Why do LEO touch the butts of the cars just before approaching the driver in traffic stops? Plethis answers my question. Tickety-boo-bo. I like this Angel person. Angel, I would like it if you leave more comments. I like your style. You know what? Other police YouTubers have talked about this one before. I don't remember everything that they said, but the bottom line is there's really no good reason. I think it started as like a myth or a theory that if we touched the cars, we would be putting our DNA on the car in case they shot and killed us, and then police could find the car later and confirm because our DNA is on the back of the car. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I don't think it's accurate. The more practical reason that I can think of is if we're walking up on a car with a trunk, we just put our hand on the trunk to make sure that it's down so somebody doesn't pop up and surprise us from behind. But again, even that, I've never even heard of that happening. I love that the tickety-boos are getting out there. Please, integrate that into your vocabulary. People will respect you much more.
I guarantee it.
Jacob Perkins, funniest call you have been on. One of them that comes to mind is not really a call, it was a traffic stop. And veterans on this channel will know when I say black in back. You will know if you've been here a long time what that's referring to. Jacob, you may even know that. We talked about it in a video. If I can find it, I'll link it here in this video. If there's no link, I couldn't find it or I got too lazy or distracted and I didn't include it. David Brown, another name. I love this. I'm gonna choose people that I can pronounce your names. I bet you, whatever, you didn't read that number. What? You didn't even realize that I put a letter in there? Where? 8456 G. All right, sure enough. I bet you just looked back at the number.
Gotcha.
What's up, FuzzFam? I just did my 5th ride along with the police department. Hopefully when I turn 21 in the next 2 years, I can apply for department. I'm currently enlisted in the Air Force. Smart. That's what I should have done instead of the Army. Doing security forces, which is the military police. I'm using that to start my career off. David, sounds like you're off to a good start. It's a fantastic way to start it. You're getting some military experience. You're getting versed in law enforcement stuff, although military police, as you will find, is very, very different from civilian, but it's all experience, which is good. 1D, all right, Idiot Bill, I think is what that says. Do you ever come across fans of the channel, whether it's being on a call or the rare occasion you make a traffic stop? Similar to the question we just had before. Actually, we do. In fact, just this last week, we had 1 or 2 people that recognized me at work and came up and chatted. So if you guys are watching, it's nice to meet you guys. I hope more of you do that. If you see me in public and you recognize me, by all means, please come and say hi, introduce yourselves. I love meeting people. Robert Farrell, why are so many departments not allowing people who have tattoos on arms to be able to apply? I'm a veteran, but can't apply because I have tattoos on my forearms. Any thoughts? It all goes back to that old guard and that old school line of thinking, like professional image and just clean, presentable public figure, something like that. And tattoos have always been kind of frowned on as, you know, related to, I don't know what it's related to. It's supposed to have been related to crime or questionable moral character. I don't know. However, it is starting to change. You're seeing a lot of departments making exceptions to those policies. My own department is one of those. They're progressive in their thinking with that, and they are making some adjustments to allow people with tattoos. I think there's still some guidelines on what tattoos and how much and where they're at and stuff, but they are allowing people with tattoos. Okay, so let's get down to the Diddy? What the? Let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's get down to the calls this week. And as you know from the title of the video, right off the bat, we need to talk about something that has happened. Something that happened this week on the job that many of you probably felt would never happen or that I was incapable of.
Ooh, did you lose weight?
I made a traffic stop, but not only that, I made a traffic stop and I issued a traffic citation. It's true. No, it's true. And I'm just letting the shock wear off if everybody can just scoop themselves up. So by now, most of you probably know I've worked for several agencies in my career. I'm on the 3rd agency that I've worked for. And formally, earlier in my career, I did a lot of traffic. I did a lot of traffic stops. I usually wouldn't issue citations. More often than not, it was a verbal or a written warning. But since I've worked at the department I'm at now, we're so busy with calls, we don't usually have the time to do traffic stops. That's usually handled by the guys that are out in our traffic unit. We can still stop people though if we need or want to. So the other night, I was just clearing from a call of a guy that was laying down in the park. We got called there on a medical assist. It was a stupid call anyway, and that's not the point of talking about this one. But they cleared the call. The medical guys got there and realized the guy's just sleeping, which, why do you call the police on a guy just sleeping at the park?
Okay, take it easy.
Focus, fuzz, focus. So I cleared the call and I approached an intersection. I was going to turn left to go down a road. So I had a green light, approached the intersection, waiting for cars to stop coming. Light turns yellow. Still cars coming. I'm waiting for the cars to stop, right? Light turns red. Usually you would turn left and go, right? Of course, you always want to make sure that you don't make that turn until you're sure no one's running the red light that you're going to hit. So there's 2 lanes. I notice one car stop, and I notice the other car in the other lane is not going to stop. So the light turns red. He's probably 2 car lengths away from the intersection and blows right on through. That's not a good day when there's a cop in the intersection. You don't want to run the red light then. Don't want to run it ever, but especially when there's a police officer in the intersection. So even though I don't usually make traffic stops, I found it within myself. I dug down deep and I flipped a U-turn. I tried to remember how to turn on my overhead lights. Successfully, after a half a block, figured out how to do it. Pulled the car over. It was a female driver, and she knew. She was very, very cool. She was very understanding. Felt so bad about it. Said that she knew she shouldn't have kept going, but for some reason did, and realized right as she was ending the intersection that there was a cop right there and knew that she just needed to pull over. So, wait a minute. I'm telling the wrong story. You gotta be kidding me. I didn't write her a ticket.
I know it.
Oh, I'm an idiot. All right, that was totally unintentional. That really did happen. That was a traffic stop I just made the other night, but I did not give her a ticket. I remember telling her she probably deserved one, but this was one of those cases where I felt the conversation was productive. She felt really, really bad. She knew what she did was wrong. I didn't feel like the citation was necessary. I think she got the point, and I think she'll be much more careful in the future at intersections. I could be totally wrong. She may do it again the very next day, but I didn't feel like she needed a ticket. Holy crap. Dumpster fire after dumpster fire on this channel. Okay, so the actual story where I did issue a citation, all right, so this one was, I was just driving down the road, no call, not going to anything, probably listening to some Justin Timberlake, and noticed the car to the next to me, the registration. I used to be in the habit of like scanning and looking at everybody's license plates. Kind of gotten out of the habit of that. I don't do it as much, but this one stuck out to me because it was the registration sticker from the previous year. Like, they're color coded in our state, so it's easy to see when people have the registration for the year that we're in. This one was from the previous year. Normally what happens is people's sticker falls off or it gets stolen, and so I ran it just to make sure, fully expecting that everything would be tickety-boo. But no, it was in fact expired from more than a year. It was like a year and 4 months or something like that. So I don't do a lot of registration enforcement. However, there is a difference between a few weeks or a month or so expired, like you just forgot. I've done it myself, versus over a year. On top of that, when I ran the license plate on the car, it had a history of citations, and somebody driving the car had been issued a citation for expired registration just the year before. So I decided to stop this young lady. Ended up being two about college age gals, and she claimed that she had no idea, just never thought about it, wasn't on her radar, probably had mom and dad do it up to that point. She's learning to adult still. So I did issue her a citation for expired registration. And that was going easy on her because, at least in our state, when the car is past 3 months expired, it can be impounded. And it's a pricey impound. It can be up to $400 or $500 or maybe more dollars to get it out of impound. I got one of those tickets in college myself. I think mine was a month and a half expired, and I fully expected to get a ticket. Nice thing about those tickets is, depending on the court where you pay it at, if you go get the car registered, which you have to anyway, and bring in the new registration, they usually reduce the fine, which isn't near as much even to begin with as like a stop sign or a red light ticket. Okay, so those were my two traffic stop stories. I actually made 2 traffic stops this week. Planets must be aligning or something. It'll never happen again. Then I had a traffic accident that I didn't even get dispatched to. I love when this happens. I was headed to the police station to probably use the facilities or whatever, roll onto a traffic accident right in the middle of the intersection. So obviously have to stop and see what's going on, make sure people are okay. This one looked like it involved 3 cars, so I got out and made sure everybody was okay, which they were, and started getting all the information we need for an accident investigation. Luckily, we have guys that are out that handle nothing but traffic accidents. They help us on those, and he showed up on the call to take over on that. The funny part on this one was towards the very end of the accident investigation. I was in my car, and a guy approached from the sidewalk and started walking right to my car, so I rolled down the window. He came up and was just like hawking up a lung. He was coughing, looked like he was on the verge of death. So I really appreciated as he stood at my window and coughed into my car. Through his coughs, he told me that he had witnessed the accident but didn't want to stick around when it happened. Then he felt bad, so he came back to see if we needed any witnesses. He told me part of the reason he didn't stick around was he felt terrible because he had come down with the flu and was really sick. Again, keep in mind, he's at my window, touching my door.
Oh no.
Just sitting there talking to me like this and telling me about how sick he is and how he's getting the flu, and he's just coughing and stuff. I'm sitting here like, are you kidding me right now? Like, step away from the car. I was able to tell him we had what we need really quick, and he turned around to leave. I quickly retrieved the staple that every cop, at least that's been on the street for more than a few days, has in their car. Plenty of antibacterial juice. Slathered that down all over the window to clean off what germs I could, and I'm still hoping that I don't come down with something with how much he was breathing in my face. Oh. Yeah, I forgot about this. Hey, it has nothing to do with on the job anything, but I remember this picture. I think I actually put it up on our Facebook or Instagram. If you follow us there, you've already seen it. But we went to a local open house at a firehouse the other day. I felt really dirty through this whole event, but none more so than when I took this picture. I was in the fire truck with my son, had a fire hat on. He got to drive in the front seat. They drove us around the block with the lights on and stuff. And he was really enjoying it. Really, really enjoyed that. So not quite sure how to feel about that. I joke a lot about the firefighters, but I really like fire trucks. I've said it before, I really think I could rock the fire truck if I was a firefighter and I could drive one of those around. I think that would be a really, really good thing. Oh! Whoa! And we had a few other minor calls here. Somebody mentioned it in a comment or asked about like how much work I actually do because I work in a week and I only talk about a handful of calls. You guys probably figured this out by now. I don't talk about every single call I go on. We do have a lot of calls. I handpick a few to discuss, kind of give you a roundabout idea. And over the course of a few weeks to a few months, as you watch a lot of these, hopefully you start to get a feel and an idea for the different things that we do. But I just, format-wise, I don't think I could talk about like every single call. Even though we did do one Benny on the Beat, I don't remember which one it was, where I literally did on one day just talk about every call, no matter how boring, stupid, exciting, or otherwise it was. Maybe we'll do that again sometime. But I took notes on, let's see. So we went on a civil dispute. Somebody called after they saw a neighbor hauling some stuff out of the house. They were in the process of moving, and they put some of it in the center gore area. There's this big grassy area between these two streets, you know, with grass and trees. It's owned by the city, and they put some of their property there. So they called thinking they were littering. They didn't want it treated as a dump. That could be a fair concern. The only problem is this is near a college. What do people do with furniture and stuff they're trying to give away for free that has value? They put it outside their house for people to just come pick up. So I had to go and check and make sure the stuff wasn't just garbage, and it wasn't. It was actually all the pieces of a fairly nice, newer bed. So no problem with that. They can put it there and somebody can pick it up. Last one for today. End on a high note. Super, super exciting, awesome, fun, adrenaline-filled call. Somebody called and said that they had found a hypodermic needle on the ground, so they picked it up and they set it on top of an electrical box and left the area. Okay, all right. I mean, nobody wants to walk on that or drive over it with your bike or your scooter, so I went and found said needle, picked it up, and took it to the police station and properly disposed of it. Servant of the public. All right, guys, that's all the time we've got for the video this week. I've got something in the works coming up, though, I am super excited about. I think you guys are gonna love it. As far as maybe a little hint, I'll just say I found an old DVD that has a number of recordings of old traffic stops.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. I'll scrub through them and see if there's any kind of content out of there appropriately that I can share. Maybe I shouldn't have even talked about it before I try to do it, because if it doesn't work out, I may not be able to show it.
Just do it.
Gotta be subscribed and stick around and find out. So we'll see you guys on the next video. Everybody have a great week.
Let's go. Back.